on the new features of Cype 3D. Okay, there are a lot of small new features at Cype 3D in this version. I just opened one of the examples that we have here. Okay, yeah. The first thing that we can see here in the geometry tab is this new option here to repair the model. Okay, one very common situation that we always receive in our technical support is when someone is modeling a structure with maybe not too much precision, or sometimes it's not using the orthogonality, and we have like problems where the nodes are too close between them. Sometimes when you zoom out, it seems there is one unique node, but actually when you zoom in, you can see there are two nodes that are too close between them, but the structure is not well connected. Okay, so now we implemented an option that when there are two nodes with less than 1 millimeter between both of them, the software will tell to you that there's two nodes there instead of one. Okay, 1 millimeter is pretty small, so probably it's a mistake, probably it's an error when you have this situation, and the software will tell to you when that happens. Okay, and if that happens, you have the option to repair, to merge these two nodes into one node, and then the model will be correct. Okay, so this button is here. If you see any information in your screen telling that there are two nodes with a distance less than 1 millimeter, probably it's a error, because for a structure in this sizes, it's too difficult to have a node with that size, with that distance. So you can use this option to repair. Okay, beside that, we have this button that is also new, assign reference. So it's something that was also requested a lot during the past years, actually. So now you can change the name of the nodes or the bars, or the any type of element that you have here in your structure, adding your own criteria for naming these projects, these elements. For example, if I select here the bar, instead of using this value that's introduced by the software by default, I can change here the reference of it. Okay, activating this option here and adding my own criteria. Let's imagine I want to always call bar and a number. Okay, so I can do that, and it's gonna change. If I use the multiple selection, I can do something similar. For example, selecting multiple elements. Okay, then I confirm, and if I add bar and a number, one is going to be one, the other automatically is going to be two, the other is going to be three. Okay, or another example could be, let's select the same examples here, and let's add here the letter A, bar or bar A. If I accept, it's going to be where A, B, C automatically, and you can select the different parts of your model and do the same, creating your own criteria to name the parts of your structure. Okay, so it works for nodes, bars, elements, deflection groups, and also for beams. Okay, you can use the individual or multiple introduction of elements. Another option that is related to the introduction of bars here in the properties is when you define the you edit, for example, sorry, when you define the where is that, sorry, here in the bar, when you, let me remember, where is that, because in the new interface I don't, yeah, here, the section. So when you define the section of a bar, okay, uh, you can consider that the behavior of the structure is linear, so it's the most common situation. In a past version of Cype 3D, we introduced the non-linearity in this case, considering just only tension elements, or only tension in this element. So in this case, we are using the OpenSys engine to run this non-linearity, or this non-linear calculation. And from now on, in this version, it's also possible to do the same with only compression. So you can choose if it's an element with just only compression. You can now also do the same here by selecting this option to the bar where you are modeling. Okay, so now you can consider also this behavior. There's another feature here that I think it's also interesting. That is when we decide the general data of the project, when we consider the fire resistance checking of the structure. Okay, so if you decide to consider the check the fire resistance, now there are more options here. So in the past versions, it was possible to define intumescent paints and other materials, and now it's also available the option to intumescent mortars. Okay, these materials, the chemical properties and all the properties related to these materials, they can be downloaded from the OpenBeam database. You just download from here, for example. And if you want to suggest us any other manufacturer of intumescent mortars, you can just click here and send us your suggestion, and we will evaluate them to then introduce this data also here at Cype 3D in the next versions. Okay. Yeah, I think for Cype 3D, these are the most relevant features that we have. Let's take a look on Cype Connect and Streaming still.